Because real estate is such that when you start building, it's not everybody that moves in at the same time. That is a challenge that has always been there, and that's why we don't sell kakas. We intentionally don't sell kakas because from the experience, we did a project in Yaba that we sold kakas. For 5 years, we were begging people to come and finish their unit and move in. They will
Can I
just buy
quickly
the
get stop? It doesn't
house,
affect.
they will have the keys, they will not do anything inside. It doesn't make the estate appreciate, it doesn't add value. That's why we insist on finished houses. So as we insist on it, when we now have an estate where there are people that also got land, as the estate is developing, there will be demand for infrastructural renewal continuously because they will be damaging. At least in every quarter, you see that you see a truck driver jam electric pole, spoil a gutter, jam something where people are living already. Those things will keep happening, which is a burden on us as a company to keep fixing them. So you might go to some of the estate, the interlocks may be bad. Maybe we are looking at let them finish this section and then we'll refix it. Like in phase two now, we are doing some portion of the road in phase two again that we have done before. But as development is increasing there, we have to redo it again. So infrastructures that we promise is something that will continue. However, we are making a twist to our water provision. The water has become a problem now since fuel price and diesel went up. I'll use one of our estate for example. In phase two, they used to buy about 50,000 worth of petrol in a month or in two weeks to power their pumps to pump water for the residents. When fuel price went up, the 50,000 was lasting 3 4 days, meaning that these people that are doing waste management, the lawman to increase their rates for carrying waste bin, the security people to increase their salary. So 15,000 that we were charging residents was no longer possible. Out of that 15,000, their water bill is there, the security of the estate is there, the street cleaners are there, the gardeners are there, the security is there. So it is not longer lucrative. So most, in fact, one of the facility managers they had to leave. So one of the things we have done, we are encouraging people, if you want borehole, I will give you specification, have your borehole, do your borehole, have your water. It is easier for people that are especially diasporans. If you buy a property and then you are only coming there maybe twice in a year, we cannot tell you that you should be paying a flat fee of 40,000 every month. It's not reasonable every month. It's not reasonable. Do you agree with me? So instead of that, just have your own. But when you are around, use your water. When you are not around, no problem. And pay the minimum fees that will cover security, street sweeping, because the dynamics of petrol has changed everything. So that's one thing we've been explaining to clients. So any day your client asks you about that, please, that's our motive for coming up with that idea. So we can go to the next session. I also have here um, somebody said we should. Is there a package to encourage realtors to become property owners? Yes. And for realtors who want to become property owners, we give a discount and at the same time we give them extended payment plan. So if you are interested, please speak to us. Yeah, thank you. What are your plans in creating public awareness, which will help boost our marketing? So this year also, I honestly thank some of the realtors that have reached out to us that we need to do more social media wise. So this year we'll try to be bully about it, to be at the face of all your customers, because the more aware the brand is, the more easy for you to sell. We all agree, yes? So so we are going to be doing a lot of social media sponsoring, videos, gigs, and all of that this year. So thank you. That suggestion was very good. Somebody said, I have the opportunity to market efficacy houses, but efficacy likes to build inside water. So when I saw the this, I laughed. Well, the consolation I have is the fact that, to be honest with you, there are many fake properties around. So when I say fake, I mean fake. So scouting for genuine properties, and when you find one, sometimes you have to overlook the challenges of the land and just grab onto the title. Just 3 weeks ago, we God delivered us. Let me use that word. Somebody told us a property in November, CFO almost 40 acres of land. We did the CTC in Alausa, it was clean. Sent another lawyer, clean. Another copy, clean. So I said, okay, take this document to another agency. Took it to a third agency, second agency, clean. Take it to another agency. They took it to the third agency. Those of two said clean. It was one day their boss was now looking at it. He just saw something. He now called me that Efficacy, I saw something here. Oh. Go and check this thing. This thing looks somehow. Maybe it's God that just delivered me through that man that day. I have paid lawyer for agreement. I have signed agreement. They have signed. I have even paid them money on some of their developments on it to move away. Lo and behold, the CFO was fake. I am telling you live and direct. If you see the original, you will never know. Even me, I can't know. Was when that man told us we now grabbed, took the document, and first of all threatened the people. We cajoled them. They were still using Bonface saying it is real, it is real, it is real. Okay? I had to go and send my lawyers to sit in Alaza for a whole day. They now started dusting. Even people in Alaza were saying, it's okay now, it's original. It was when we started dusting, looking for the file, tracing. They discovered that nobody even collected the CFO in Alaza number one. So how did it get into the record? So I'm saying all of this because when you see a land, whether it is water now, there's no water in Lagos. So that's what you should know. Honestly, there's no water because everywhere is water. Water is as good as real estate in Lagos. It's only a matter of time when development gets there. So for me, I'd rather get development that has title that I can go to sleep. And if I can go to sleep, that means you too you can sleep and snore. Abi? Ah. So, but God forbid, if the developer has made a mistake to buy that property, what it means is, in fact, they were even telling me that don't worry, just paper payment, we will let you go and start processing your consent. You will get your consent. Imagine that. So if I'm greedy also, I would have jumped at it. I'll process governor's consent. One day, they will discover. And all the clients we have sold to, and all the realtors too that have sold, they start dragging them. Yes or no? So that is the problem of the chain in the society when there is corruption and there is fraud. And I can tell you, Lagos State is doing a lot to track them. These people are on the run now because I've reported them to many high officers in the state and they are working because they have a cabal. Because there's no way an external person will do that in the system. So we continue to work with the government. The government is going to keep working on it. I'm sure some of you saw it in the news last week that Lacera is trying to criminalize anybody caught with fake documents or selling fake lands in Lagos, working with EFCC. It's a good thing for us because it will give people that want to do business genuinely the opportunity to try. Yes or no? And it will not give real estate a bad name. Because before you know it, they will say you are the one that sold the land that is fake. So when they arrest the person that sold the land, they will drag the middleman too. So as much as possible, the land may be water now, but when it has title, tell your neighbor if it's water, it is money in Lagos. I don't know about some other states, but Lagos is money. All right. So for those who also want to join our realtor groups, so you can drop your number. We'll add it to our WhatsApp. A lot of people complain that they don't get updates. Our updates are shared through our social media handles and our WhatsApp groups. They should also so we'll also be doing quarterly bulletins. Someone said we should be updates. So we are from this January, we have already done about three updates of our estate. So we are developing a newsletter for every estate and then putting our program of works in there for people to know what to expect by the end of this month, by the end of this quarter, and the rest like that. Thank you very much for listening to me. I am tired, though. I've not started. Thank you. Okay. You can write down your question, please. Please, let me give her a paper to write down the question. Mrs. Senator, somebody is waiting up a hand there. Okay, so please give them papers to write down their question so that we will be making it faster. Relationship managers, where are they? You have a jotter, you can write it down there and just pass it. There's a jotter given to you. You can write it on the jotter and just pass it to them, and we'll be able to attend to it. So I think we will jump the session of introducing relationship managers because they are not all in here. Or are they here? They should be here. They should be here if you have to do that now. Time is of the essence because of people that have been doing school runs. Oh. How many of you are doing school runs? Uh-huh. So, and that's why we know that we cannot finish everything today. So that you not leave your children in school too long. So if they are not ready, we would have to. Yes, so let's quickly gather the question. While we are waiting for that, I have, can they please come in? Please, quickly, relationship managers. I have Dorcas. Dorcas is the relationship manager for Peak Resort and Phase 3. Dorcas, where is she, please? Miss Dorcas. And Olufemilayo Estate in Oshogo. All right, thank you. I have Sade is the relationship manager for Terry's 2 1865 in VI and Lagoon View Yaba. Thank you. I have Mr. Babatunde is the relationship manager for Phase 1 and Phase 2. Thank you. I have Mr. Uche is the relationship manager for Terrace 1, Apartment 2, and Phase 4. So those in Phase 4 that are not seeing progress is the one who I've told him if they don't put gate there in the next 1 week, they should not come to office. Peak luxury, I'm still coming there. This is peak luxury, working in. Work fast. Peak luxury used to be pious, and some of you have been shakaraing pious too much. So we decided to let Pius just face contracts. Since he's a lawyer, let him fix his contract so it will be faster. So I also have Awosonya Abiodun for Peak Luxury and Peak Palm. Peak Palm will tell you details about the launching soon. And I have Mrs. Eniton, which you have met before. She's the head of business development for real estate. Thank you. You can go to their feed. Stop shakaraing them. Go with your camera, please. Go, Jare. This is the man that used to delay your commission on Abiodun. Let me let you know. This one is carrying camera. I don't know who sent message to carry camera today. This is Temidayo. Temidayo, leave the camera. Let them see your face. Him and Abiodun is the head of account. All right. Thank you so much. I have the questions quickly. Okay, so concerning Peak Prime Estate, that's Prime One. When will they start the sand filling? Yes, they are sand filling presently. We actually paused sand filling around November, and but we have resumed sand filling again now. Again, still boils down to the heavy cost because when we sold that place, our budget for sand filling was just 3 million naira. Then sand was 48,000. Now sand is 125,000. So imagine the basic. So so we are just trying to look for easier ways to get the sand and then get the work done. But there are some filling places for land now. And so all our land we are selling now, we are not sampling for anybody again. No. Because I don't know when. Yes, that's what we've been advertising. I don't know when the diesel price will be stable because diesel seriously affects prices of sand. So they pump at the dredging site with diesel. The trucks that carry the sand use diesel and all of those things. So for now, Peak Royal, we are doing the road, we are sampling the road, Peak Royal, we are sampling the road. There's work going on at Peak Royal now, but individuals sample their plots by themselves. For acquisition that may go wrong, even having done all due diligence, do you have plans in place for reform? For example, insurance. Yes. So if you read our contract of sale very well, I can also boldly say that we are one of the few companies that have indemnity clause on our contract of sale. What indemnity clause means that if anything goes wrong, we are liable. So if you look at other companies, all of them don't put, most of them, not all of them, don't put indemnity clause. So as much as possible, we have an insurance as an organization. Efficacy itself is insured. All our buildings are insured, all except the one we have handed over. And we do it every September. And I think we've done the one for this year. We did around October. So we don't keep any building we are working on without insurance. I think that answers that question. Okay. As a construction company, yes, does the company have plans to do ready build buildings in developed areas? Yes, we have. I would say, but it usually comes at a risk. So there are some places that we build readily houses, and then sometimes after you have finished building the ready house, somebody will still be offering 6 months payment. Abi? So what is the benefit? Except for high-end properties that we can't make those ones outright. Even before we even get to, once we get to a certain stage, we start advertising it because we'll be tying down money for too long. Because when the prices are up, fully built, it's just very few people that have maybe have 50 million in their account in Nigeria now. But somebody can buy a 50 million house with 5 million, yes or no? They can carefully plan to pay the 45 million over time. If I build a 70 million house now on ground and I see somebody has to pay, I'm looking for maybe 5% out of people that can buy. And that makes it easy. Over the time, we've tested that system, but this year we are going to have more of ready-made buildings for sale. Due to improvements, I'll wrap up now. Question over after this, please. That's why we created the opportunity to ask questions. Due to the movement of parastatals like CBN, FAN from Abuja to Lagos, yes, we will sell ready-made houses. So also, we also have, we started a project in Abuja, but like you said, we want to make our buildings well advanced before we, or our site well advanced before we launch. Is right on, if you know, Amak Housing Estate is inside Wawa District. Is an FCDA C of O. There are different C of O's in Abuja. There's Area Council C of O, that's Amak. There's Guagalada, there's Kuje, there's Kurudu, Area Council. But the one that is the most important is the state like FCDA C of O. We have an FC inside a government layout. We'll be advising you when we'll be launching that one subsequently in the year. What situation with P Gardens Arepo? Yes, P Gardens Arepo is also under construction. We send mails to clients. We are pumping sand there, we are sand filling, and we told some of the clients there that the project will be slowed down, be delayed by 6 months. When we started the project, we already know that we'll be sand filling. And so we made it that for outright purchases, delivery is 18 months. That was what we marketed there, despite that it's bungalow. So we have to factor in the time of sand filling. But even with the sand filling pace, we are now asking them that it might be delayed by 6 months. And we've told some of them so that they can also have a win-win. They are free to pause their payments till maybe the next 3 months when we now start building the houses, so that gives them comfort. But for people that we sold land to, they can't pause their payment because work is going on there. But for only buildings, that is what we have done, so that they don't feel the company is collecting money and no house is being built. Okay, so Peak Luxury, I just announced that Peak Luxury will be opening 50 plots of sale back into the market. But for Peak Apartment, for the apartment in Peak Luxury, they are doing the soil test now, right? The engineer Tuesday, they are doing the soil test. So once they finish and filling, I want to do the foundation before we put it out back again. I think it's much more comfortable for us that way, so that we don't just keep selling. I know that realtors want something to sell as much as possible. We also want to sleep, and I'm sure you also want to sleep too. So why is the payments that we address commission? Okay, so somebody said Peak Luxury Estate is supposed to be a luxury estate, but from the gate, narrow entrance, little space. Okay, so I think sometimes when you also, it's good to criticize, but when you are criticizing, you should compare with others. Blind criticism is annoying sometimes. I still went to that place on Sunday. I was there with my wife. It can be annoying and it can be demoralizing. So if you say pick luxury estates, is that entrance gate not fine enough? How many have been to pick luxury? Is the entrance not fine enough? Yeah. So when you talk about, and also you also need to understand there are ways to improve, yes. But I've said it over time that recreation area there is there for marketing purpose. I have said it, when you come in, you know there's a basketball, football. That place is small for an estate of 400 residents. We have over 400 plots there. But what we are saying is that place is for marketing purpose. So please, I don't encourage that this should be talked about again in this manner. It's a luxury estate, and that's what it will be. And our land extends so that we are facing two roads. Actually, our original road is supposed to be by the side. We bought the land to face that side, and that's why we find that place narrow. In fact, we bought two plots in front like that for some meters to face the road, because we believe that facing that road will give us more advantage than going turning to the side. So that side where we don't know that our road is also, our land is facing that side of the road, which is where we have as an exit road. So you can go in this way, you can also go in through that side, the side that is paved. You know, I believe you know what I'm saying. So when you get to Big Closing and you go, the turning on your right that is paved. Before you go down, it's not far. There's a land there that connects to our own. Are we together now? So our estate is luxury. Okay, why is efficacy? Ah, I never finished Lagos. You said I should go to Asaba. I wish you know how difficult it is to manage one site. Please, sir. Okay, yes, thank you. Somebody said, why is the construction in Peak Apartment 2 so slow? Yes, this is one of the issues that Barrister Glory talked about. Um, the three estates we affected there where we gave contractors money that they absconded were actually Prime 1, Phase 3. We gave a finishing to a contractor to take over from Kakas and do the finishing, almost 130 million. We don't know whether the guy is trying to use the money to do jackpot or something, but it's in the AFCC now, so I won't talk about that. So we have to do a petition. The same thing affected Big Apartment too. So, but while we are dealing with their issues, we have to dig our hands and pockets and then do the work while we hope that we'll be able to recover money using the law enforcement. Um,
Maybe there's a dot somewhere.
Yes, big estates, Peak Luxury has layouts and dimensions. If you need anything on Peak Luxury, please see the relationship manager for Peak Luxury. Get more light, shed more light on that. But be rest assured that we still have lands in Peak Luxury as much as possible that can still do peak up, where can still build apartments. But as we go on, we also want to be careful not to sell and be in problem, because we don't know the direction of inflation and the economy. Thank you so much for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together to celebrate the MD better? Dr. Oyeleke Ajiboye, MD of PKC Construction Company. Thank you very much, sir, for your session. If you're just walking in or you're just joining us, I warmly welcome you this beautiful afternoon to the Partners Conference of Efficacy Construction Company Limited. Thank you to all our guests, our invited guests. You're duly honored and recognized. Multimedia, are you ready for me? All right. So we'll move swiftly over to the next session if our multimedia is not ready. Okay, let's move over to the next session because of our time. And this next session is going to be talking on business financial management for realtors. That's the topic for the next session. Business financial management for realtors. And to bring us this session is the Chief Client Officer at Coronation Registrars, Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mrs. Amaka Ugo Obikike, AMC FICMB. A round of applause for her, please. Can we please put our hands together? You know, we said we'll celebrate a lot this morning. Thank you very much for celebrating her.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must say that I'm pleased to be here today, and looking at the number of people here, it's very apparent that the real estate business is a booming one. So I'm privileged to be here. Thank you to the management of Efficacy Group for having me. Um, this morning we are talking about money, and I feel I'm very, very far from us. Because when it's a matter of money, you have to be very close because it is as real as it gets. It's either it's there or it's not there. So this morning, I aim to be as practical as possible. I may not touch on all areas because of time, but I hope to inspire somebody this morning. I hope to motivate somebody this morning to do something about their finances. I hope to say something this morning that will propel somebody into action. And in years to come, you can look back and say, thanks for that information that was passed on that day. In my over 15 years of being in the financial services management space, I find information very critical. You can be in lots of money, but that money can finish before your eyes for lack of information. Then you find somebody who does not have so much as you have, flourishing, doing well because they have information. Like I said, I may not touch on all areas, but I hope we are able to achieve something before the end of this. Can we move to the next slide? I don't intend to be very theoretical, but we'll take it as it is. The slide before this. Now, one thing is common to everybody. Whether you are a real estate, you are a realtor, or you are in a payment, one thing is common. There's a time to work. There's a time to retire. It's common. Now, your ability to earn while working and to earn after you retire is determined by what you do with what you have right now that you're working. As a realtor, you know, it's different for somebody that is a 9 to 5 because they get paid every month, so they know what to expect. It's different for me. It's difficult. I can relate with that because I've also done entrepreneurship in many areas. So I can relate with not getting your your salaries or whatever it is every month or within any specified period. So I can relate with that. But the truth is, at the end of the day, we must all retire at one time or the other. So whether in a paid employment or as a realtor, which you are running your business, you are self-employed, you are a company on your own. In the eyes of the government, you are a separate entity that is taxable, that can be sued and be sued, and so you must function like that. Like I said, I may not touch on all areas, and it may not work with people the same way it worked for others. But one thing is clear. There are certain principles that have worked, and if you apply them, it will work. While some people have applied those principles and it didn't work out for others as it did for some, but at the end of the day, you will still get some level of results with what you want with your finances. Next slide. So you ask yourself, or I want to ask you, I don't know if this is very clear, but I want to ask you a very, like I said, when we are talking about money, it is as real as it gets. It's not too much of theory. So as a realtor, I'd like to ask us, you can answer that by yourself. How are you currently faring along what we have on the screen? Your income as a realtor, is it able to meet your daily need? Is it meeting your daily need? Is it meeting your urgent need? But there's a difference between daily needs and urgent needs. And I want you to answer this question honestly. Because that is only way, you know, when you tell yourself the truth, then you can be propelled to do something genuine for yourself. So, does it meet your daily need? Does it meet your urgent need, your current income as a realtor? Are you able to pay your taxes? I know a lot of us are evading taxes today because of the country we are in. But the truth is, certain governments can come into power and make it compulsory and make it impossible to evade tax. And at that point, you have to pay tax. And so I'm asking you, the income from your business as a realtor, are you able to pay your tax? If you have losses, can you cover for it? And if you have projects, can this your realtor income help you to complete projects? Are you able to remain above the waters? Or the water of life is swallowing you up because of lack of finances? You should be able to answer this question honestly. And if you have to retire today, are you going to retire in peace? These questions, everybody has to answer it for themselves, by themselves, with information that you have. Now, before I accepted to speak, at this session, I asked certain questions. Because if you are going to be managing finances, it means that there is a finance to manage. And so that's why I'm asking this question. Is this real estate business really actually lucrative? Is it something that can fund your lifestyle truly? Everything I have said, are you able, how are you faring with the income you are making from this business? How are you faring along this line? Next slide. Now you have to be real with yourself. And that's why I call this the Realtors Finance Reality. This is you and the business and your money. Because you don't collect salaries every month, your income is unpredictable. You agree with me? So it can happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it can happen next year. It's just up and down like that. You have to tell yourself that truth. The same thing, expenses. As much as you want to stabilize your expenses, things come up. Unexpected expenses come up. And as a human being, you need to meet up. And as a realtor, I'm sure at some point you want to become a real estate investor. You want to move from being an agent to becoming an investor and earning more, right? And of course, the tax again. Because we live in a country, even though it's not working the way it should, but at some point, it will start working and you will need to pay tax. So you must always have that at the back of your mind. Your debt to income ratio, how is it? As much as possible, your income should be above your debt. When I mean debt, expenses of all kinds. But currently, what is it like? Are you even keeping track? Are you keeping records? Like I said, finance talk is as real as it gets. If you're not keeping records, you're not keeping records. You can't speak to it, you're not sure. So until you start doing certain things, then you can be sure of the future. You can look at the future and say, yes, if I retire today, I won't beg. Finally, you're not sure of what is coming next. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And this is not limited to entrepreneurs. This is not limited to realtors. Even people in paid employment, anything can happen. Retrenchment can happen, downsizing can happen, and you have to keep your head above the water. So now I want to ask you again, do you believe that your realtor income can fund these realities? These are the realities of a typical realtor. Do you believe that your realtor income can fund these realities? I want to hear like 2 or 3 people. Do you believe that the income you are making from this business, or that you hope to make from this business, can fund these realities? Can I get responses from 2 or 3? You can just sit there. I don't know if there's a roving mic, so that we know if we should be talking about managing finances or not. Is there a roving mic? You can speak up. If you want to speak, you can just signify and then speak up. Do you believe that the income you are making from this business can fund these realities? Okay, please go ahead. Just speak up. Yes, it can. Okay, anybody from here? Yes, it can. Okay, that means you believe. Now the next question is, can your, see the emphasis, your own. You know, you just answer the generic, yes, it can. Now, at this level that you are, can your realtor income fund these realities? Can I get an answer from that side? Yes? Can it? No, you. Okay, that means the level that you are, the income you are making from this business can fund these realities, right? Okay. Is anybody disagreeing to that? There is nothing wrong to disagree. It's being truthful to yourself. Because if you deceive me, not a problem, but you can't deceive yourself. You know your situation. You know what you are having to deal with. You have to be honest with yourself. So I will leave that to us to answer honestly to ourselves. The income you are making from this business, can it fund these realities? If it's not funding it, or you can see that it is not, then you better begin to think. A question I asked when I got this invitation is, are people making it from this business? Have people, can people say that they made it from being a realtor? Oh, okay, that's a confirmation, because I got a yes. And my next question is, so why are you not sharing your story to people that are coming? Why are you not telling them how you made it? Sorry? They will buy your property. They will do what? They will kidnap you. Interesting. Okay, in Nigeria, honestly, from what I've seen, people are not truthful about how they made it. Many people are not truthful about how they made it. So if you build your aspiration on someone that you saw, years ago she was like this or he was like this, today he or she is like this. You may be in the same business, but these different things are funding your lifestyle. It may not be from this business that their lifestyle is being funded. So you need to get that straight, so that you don't sit at the back, look at somebody in the front and say, is this real estate? Is this being a realtor that made this person to be like this? It may not be. So you have to be very, very mindful of that when you are aspiring into anything, not just real estate. And that's why I've asked this question next. Be very truthful about your financial status at any time. Don't build your aspiration on somebody, because people are not truthful. I can tell you that. People are not truthful. I've been an entrepreneur, the same line of business, and most people, I'm wondering, is it from this same business that we are doing? That people are, that this person is like this. With time, I found out that it's not from this business. And so you are building castle in the air. If you think all of you are operating on the same level, you will never get there. because different things is funding their lifestyle. So focus on yourself in this session. It's good to aspire to be like somebody or to have this kind of money at some point from this business. But tell yourself the truth. Where I am today, where am I today? How much is in your account today? That is what you should be working with. In subsequent discussion, the next thing I'll be discussing, that should be what you should be working with. What do you have today that you can grow? Not what somebody has or what you think that somebody has. It's a gradual process. You can be down, you can look at that graph, you can see high, low, you can be at any point in that graph, but tell yourself the truth. This is where I am today. This is what I am earning today. Then with that understanding, you can now start telling yourself, this is what I need to do to grow my finances. Next slide. And it starts by setting smart goals. Smart goals. I like to ask us, you came into being a realtor. You decided to be a realtor for a purpose. What is your goal? It's either you have set your goals or you have not set it. That's why I said the matter of money, the matter of finances, it is as real. It's not a theory, So I wouldn't want to bore you with theory, but have you set your goals? Is your goals, is it smart? Or are you building castle in the air? You will never get there. It has to be smart and specific. Your goal as a realtor should be based on the business, the possibility in the business. Every business has a possibility. You have the market population. You have the part of the market. Let's say for the real estate or for the estates you are marketing as a realtor. That can be the population, right? That is a possibility. Now, out of that real estate, out of that estate that you are marketing, how many of them did you sell and you are getting commission for? That one is your own. And that is what you should be planning your income, your money around. How much is your own from there? Then maybe it's 10 estates, but at least out of the 10 estates, you've sold 1 or 2 flats or 1 or 2 buildings. Is it possible to sell more? Are there still chances of selling more? You must tell yourself this truth. Your goals, they have to be measurable. So, you put a timeline to it. It has to be measurable and attainable. It comes back to being real with yourself. You are a realtor under Efficacy. They have, for instance, 20 estates. Unless you are a realtor under another company, then when you are building or setting your goals, you can do more. But you can't. If it is only Efficacy, you are limited to what. Then every month you are telling yourself, how many have I sold? So that you are not delusional. You are not. You must be grounded in reality. First month, second month, third month, the houses are to fund your realities. Otherwise, you have to start thinking outside the box. Otherwise, it can really get hairy, and you don't want to be in that situation. I'm a Christian. I'm sure we will have different faiths here, but whatever it is in life, I believe there is a root in scriptures. So whatever we do in life, there's already something about it in the scriptures. So I do everything and I examine it in the light of the scriptures. So you may find some of those things in my slides. Next. So you have to create your budget. You have to create your budget. As a realtor, you are a business on your own. You are in the eyes of the government, you should be taxed. So you should have some idea, some understanding of accounting. See, the company in Efficacy that has gathered everybody today, don't think they just wake up every January and say, I'm a realtor. No, they sit down to plan. They sit down to do their budgets. this event has been budgeted for, and the income that will cover it has already been also budgeted for, so that they're not spending so much and they're not making enough income to cover. Otherwise, that will result to a loss, and that is how companies go down. They won't do anything that will bring them loss. So also you. Did you borrow transport money to come here this morning? You should be asking yourself, because that is also a business expense for you. Did you borrow money to come here this morning? And did you answer when I said, can your income fund your realities? So those are the things you need to start thinking and start writing down. So don't be an accounting novice. You need to understand debit and credit. Your income is commission. I also understand you earn bonus. Like I said, I asked some questions about efficacy and how well they are treating their agents, and I was told that your bonus comes as at when due. Is that correct? And I was also told that, the bonus is very, very reasonable, right? So it means that we have a discussion, we have something to talk about, because there is money to manage, there is a budget to make. This, don't imagine it in your head. Companies that succeed, companies that have worked for many years, they don't start any year arbitrarily. No, you sit down, you do your budget, and you are a company. That is the only way you will grow. That is the only way you will know if you are growing or you are not growing. So as a realtor, your focus should actually be your net income. That is the difference between the commission you receive, the bonuses that you get, minus your expenses. Your focus should be that, not the money that you receive. That is not it. The commission they pay you is not how rich you are. How rich you are is after you have removed your expenses. That's when you can say, yes, truly, I am rich. Because if you build on your commission and all that, you find out that you are definitely spending it, and you are left with nothing at the end of the day. But when that money lands into your account, boom, enjoyment starts. You are not rich until you are able to net out your expenses. Whatever is left is who you are. Let's be real to ourselves, because when we talk about money management, it is money. It's plus and minus. It's either it's coming in or it's going out, and if the frequency at which it is going out is more than it is coming in, that is a loss. You can't move beyond that. That is just the truth. Next slide, please. So please, this is January, so I would like to ask you, have you made your budget for the year? If you have not, don't enter February without doing that. And you don't need something exorbitant to make your budget. Your pen and your paper, start with that. Have a diary. If you don't have one, I'm sure they gave us one at the entrance, so you can start with that. Start writing your income and your expense, and you'll get to see reasons why you should start doing that very consistently. Mind my word, very consistently. You need to be consistent about it. Next slide. You cannot do your budget without knowing your expenses. So my question is, do you know your expenses? Many of us don't know. I'm sure many of us are very long in this business, so I expect that you should know your expense on a monthly basis, because you are not a salary earner. And so when companies or a salary earner does their budgeting, they don't use the reverse method of budget. But you have, at least you know that you must spend money on certain things, right? So that's how, as a realtor, you do your budgeting. You use the reverse method. Start with your expenses. The year is still new. You have your pen and your paper. You can look back. December may not be a good month to make comparison with, because people spend lavishly and then the reality hits you in January. So you can look back at maybe November, August, last year. A lot of things can help you if you have not been keeping track. You can look at your bank statements. The good thing with the online banking is that a lot of the transaction is done online. And so you're able to narrate to see the places that your money went to. Let me not tell you that it's easy to do what I'm saying, because it's not easy for me as a person to do it. So you can leverage some apps that can help you do that. But the truth is, if you want to really manage your finances well, you have to start doing that. Know your expenses. And as a realtor, you are a business. So separate your business expenses from your personal expenses. And the only way you can do that is maintaining different bank accounts. Good thing in Nigeria, you can even have up to 10 accounts. So leverage that. Don't collect your commission into your personal account and then have a business account. Is there any regulation that stops a realtor from registering a business with CAC? So you're running a business. Register your business. I have many stories about how much people lose this opportunity because they don't have a registered business. And Nigeria today, in line with ease of doing business in Nigeria, a lot of those things have been simplified and it's even more affordable now. So don't business this year without registering it as a business so that you can have a business account. And if you don't have a business account as in registered, maintain 2 accounts and say this one is dedicated to this business. Receive your commission from there. And when you need to spend, move it to your personal account. Pay yourself salary. If you don't do these things, you will get it mixed up. That's just the truth. It's not easy to do, but companies that excel, that is what they do. They don't maintain the same bank account for the company and then the founders or the owners. No, they maintain different bank accounts. You are a company on your own. You should know what is a personal expense and what is a business expense. You can see some of them already. I know some of us are mixing it up. You're just going to run around a circle, and hoping that something will happen. It doesn't happen like that. Like I said, work with your own finance. Don't look at somebody else. People have what is funding their lifestyle. For some, it can be the family inheritance. For some, it can be their spouses. And now, I'm not talking about gender. Some women, they are the breadwinners in their family, funding their husband. Some husbands are funding their wives. Some have other things going for them. So work with your own. Next slide, please. You must know and plan your taxes. This is very important. With the fall in oil prices in Nigeria and, we're not getting as much as we used to get from oil, the government is looking for every opportunity to make money. And your bank account is not left out. At some point, in fact, with some companies, it is deducted from source. As the money is coming in, you just find out that a deduction is made. And when you look at it, it's tax. You're wondering, you're asking yourself, what is this? But the money has left. It will get to that because the government is doing a lot to ensure that individuals pay tax. And because you must work with the banking system, when the bank say for you to operate your account, you must submit your NIN, you must submit your whatever it is that will help the government to deduct that tax at source. You cannot help it. It will be completely outside your control. So you must know and plan your taxes. So even though you are not paying taxes right now, for some of us, I know some are paying, some are not paying, plan for it. Because it may come at a time that you have to pay it in arrears. For you to continue to use your business name, or for you to even have access to your account, you pay that tax in arrears. So if you have been consuming your tax, I will encourage us going forward, whenever you receive your commission, at least 20% should go to a separate account for tax. Don't touch it, it's not your own. The owner will come one day, eventually. Am I making sense? Is it making sense? It will make sense now. It will make sense now, but when you get the debit alert, it will make sense. I will just encourage us to prepare for that because it will happen. It will happen. In one of the companies that I run, I look at the bank statement and I'm seeing all these debits. And the narration is tax. And it can come from the federal, state, local government, it can be your self-tax. I will encourage you to attend seminars, conferences on taxation so that you know what to expect. It's a good thing that Efficacy Group is doing this. So you can also do something along the line of taxation alone for realtors so that they understand what is possible or what can happen. Next. I've talked about this. You must separate it. Separate your business accounts from your personal accounts. And think about collaboration. Think about growing. If you want to grow, you need to collaborate. You may not do big things alone. So as a realtor, you can look for people of a like mind. Maybe you are thinking of registering a business. You can partner and open a business. You'll be able to do more than when you run solo. You know, in this part of the world, because of the matter of trust, we rather do our thing, so that at least I know that this is, but the truth is, we are limiting ourselves. If you can partner, get a good partner, you will do more when you work together. So start thinking along that line this year. Next, no matter what, save. I know it's not easy, because a lot of us are eating from hand to mouth. That's just the truth. Forget the packaging. Many of us are eating from hand to mouth. As it is coming in, it is going out. Even before it comes in, the account is already overdrawn. That is the reality of many of us. Maybe not all of us, but I can tell you many of us. It's from hand to mouth. But no matter what, please save. No matter how small, save. And like I've told us, 20% of your commission should go to a separate account for your tax. And personally, at least your savings should be able to keep you above the waters for 6 to 12 months at least. So that you don't do what you don't want to do. This is very, very important. I've been in that situation, so I know what I'm saying. I've been in that. I'm not speaking theory. I know what you can do if you don't have money. I have enjoyed money. I've also lived without money. So I know the difference. I know how it is. So to save yourself from doing what you don't want to do, resist the temptation not to save. No matter how small, save. And at any point in time, assuming you don't get paid in the next 6 months to 12 months, can your saving carry you? If it cannot carry you, you're on a long thing. You will do things. You will do things you don't want to do. As a woman, as a man. So it is as real as it gets. Save, 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 save. There are so many ways you can save: mutual funds, fixed deposit. Insurance is also a saving mechanism. There are many insurance products that are tied to savings. Please leverage all these opportunities. I work in Coronation. I have a bouquet of products that you can subscribe to that can help you. I'm not here to market Coronation, but at least I've seen it. I'm telling you what is real. I don't have to be wealthy to start. There are some you start with 10,000 and all that, but please save. Very, very important. The wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. Next slide. I don't know if you can see this. So I'm saying save, and you are thinking in your mind, how can I save when all I have I spent? That was why I told you have to be truthful to yourself. This income from this realtor, at the level you are, is it funding your lifestyle? If it is not, start thinking of what else to do. to add to it. Derive your income from other sources. You may not move too far away from your realtor business. You can start managing property for people. That is why you must present yourself as a company. That is why you must partner, form and register a company and start presenting yourself as a corporate entity. So that there are people, many people outside the country that are looking for who to manage their property for them here. But if I don't see you as someone that I can entrust that into, you will not get that from me. So start positioning and packaging yourself as a company and start doing things related to what you do as a realtor so you can make more money. Don't be delusional. Don't live in fantasy. Don't say, they are making it in real estate. I know that person, when he started, you don't know what is funding that person's lifestyle. Start looking for what else to add so that you can keep above the waters. Real estate investing, you can only do that if you have money. If you don't have money, you cannot invest. I know it's capital intensive, and that is why many of us start out as realtors. You can consult. You know, when we hear consulting, it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal because it's a knowledge field. But in that thing that you know, consult in it. At a point, I ventured into fashion business, tailoring and all that. And I started designing courses. Because I know I can teach, I started designing courses. And I didn't believe that tailors could subscribe to be taught how to do certain things. And I was taking those classes. So think about what you know. Build something around it and start consulting. It's not a big deal to consult. You must not be an Arthur Anderson, KPMG. No. Consulting is that I know this thing, I can teach you, I can guide you. So build your craft around what you know and start offering it as a service. You can do trading. When you receive your commission, after receiving, open a shop, start selling things, daily income. Daily income is very important. It's key. You know how they describe realtors? They say once somebody is jobless, you ask them what they do, they'll say they are doing real estate. But looking at us today, I think that's not right, that's not true, because a lot of people are actually making it in real estate. But that's the truth. Some men, some women, if a man comes to them and say, what do you do? Real estate, they run because look at this one is jobless. But that's not true. Not true, right? I agree with you. I agree with you actually. But we just need to do better. Tell ourselves the truth and seek to grow. There are so many opportunities on social media. You can be a content creator, you can be a content writer, whatever it is, a digital marketer. Bring your art to work, just expand. Then in the capital markets, you can invest. I work in the capital market and I'm so amazed at so many opportunities, that is possible. I didn't know about many things when I was in the banking sector. I didn't know about so many things. Or maybe I wasn't so interested. Yeah, I invested in the capital market many years ago and it didn't turn out well. That was just around the market crash. So I just lost interest. But getting into that sector and into that industry now, I see many opportunities that many of us are not aware of. Only if you know, you will start. It's not too late to start. Little here, little there. In years to come, you will look back and say, thank God I took this decision. So if you have any interest around that, I can give you my card, you can follow up, and we can take it off from there. Like I said, I'm sharing with you from my life experience. I didn't know about many of these things. If I knew, I probably would not be where I am today. I would have been more far, but because I did not know. But today that you know, please take advantage. There are so many opportunities in the capital market. Invest in a retirement account. Like I said, one thing is common. Work, retire. You cannot miss it. You can't, except people that die before they retire. And I know we will live long. So we have to plan for our retirement. This is real. I got this from Access Pension. So this is a real life calculation. Please, next slide. This is not just a simulation. It is real. And I think I have an Access Pension staff here. This is very important too, because keeping your pension like somebody that is in a salary work. You have to pay yourself pension. You have to save for your pension. Don't eat all. My pension did a lot for me. When I left work and I had to do some things by the side, I fell back to my pension at some point. So nobody will do that for you. Start saving for your pension. Like I said, this is real. This is a historical. Can you put this on a presentation mode so that it's bolder? Thank you. So when you hear retirement, don't say, I'm not in paid employment. The government has made room for what we call micro pension. And you can start with as little as 10,000 naira every month. If you do that, maybe you are 30 years now. When you are 40 years, you can see how much you will get, depending on the market price. It can be 10, we have done it at 10%, 13%, 15%, 17%, 20%. Whatever the market is giving at any point in time is what you will get. And it's so flexible that you can draw from it. You can draw up to 40% when you need to. But the remaining 60% stays until you retire. So please take this step, take these critical steps at this point. I don't know if Oluchi is here. Okay, please, can you stand so that they know you, they can meet with you? Yeah, she's from Access Pension. You can meet with her. She'll guide you on how to do this, but this is very important. We are rounding up now. Next slide. Whatever you do, run from quick money schemes. Whatever you do. You know how difficult it is for you to sell an estate, to sell houses or lands. And so how is it easy for someone to deceive you that you can bring 10,000 and they will give you 100,000 in 3 days? Always ask yourself, you know how difficult it is for you to sell one house. And then somebody tells you, bring that commission that they paid you, right? 100,000, I'll give you 1 million in 1 week. How? Where? How come? It's not possible. So whatever you do, slide mode, run from it. You can see that picture. Eventually, many of them have carried away your money or people's money. Next slide. Then on the side, give to others. Give to others, give to people, help as much as you can. Give, no matter how little. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your money. That is why God bless you. Yes, enjoy this money. You only live once. If anything happens to you today, that is it. It is the last one you ate. That is one you will go with to the grave. So as much as we try to plan for the future, do all these things, please enjoy yourself. Find ways to enjoy yourself. And finally, next slide. If God has given you good health, and take care of your health. Do you know that taking care of your health is one way to manage your finance? I hope you are getting that. For whatever you do, take care of your health, because health issues can take you from ground 100 to ground 0. In Nigeria, there is no middle class, so I hope you know somehow. It's either you are rich, very rich, or you are poor. It just takes one sickness to bring people down. I hope you can relate with these pictures. Funny enough, there is no woman in this picture, but this is just some people that have moved down from glory to grass. It may not be because they didn't manage their money well, but one thing is certain, one thing is common with them. They once had money, then suddenly there was no money. So that tells you that it is real. The money you are making today can disappear before your very eye. But whatever you do, please do all you can to manage your money. And I will end with this next slide. I'll end with this from the book of Proverbs 27. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your head, that's to your money, for riches do not endure forever. Thank you.
Once again, please let's give her a very warm and loud round of applause. That was a beautiful session. 3 questions because of our time. Just 3 questions. So the first 3 hands to be raised, we'll take your questions. The first 3 hands to be raised. Anybody? 1. Any more hands? Just one question and then we'll move on. We won't be able to take any more after this question. Any other person, please? Just one. All right. Please, you come. Okay, 2. Please come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Maka. Thank you for the beautiful presentation. So my question is, you talked about taxation. So most of the time for us as realtors, our taxes get deducted before our commissions are paid. Now, like for me personally, I have my company registered. So that tax, I'm asking this question because of everybody now. That tax that is deducted, and me personally, I have my own company that has been registered. Remember, I belong to a group. So how do I reflect it in my own company so that I don't have to pay tax the second time again?
Thank you. There are different kinds of taxes. So I'm not a tax expert, but I have some ideas. So, like I said, the management may need to, have another session on taxation. But what I know about taxing is that as a corporate organization, as a separate entity, you are taxed separately. So whatever tax has been taken from your commission, you're not a staff of the company, you are running a company of your own. You are an agent. So whatever taxes that was taken for your commission is different. But if you have a registered business, whatever money that enters your account is taxed separately. I don't know if that answers the question. Like I said, I'm not a tax. Yeah, but yeah, you can throw more light.
All right. In Nigeria, there are multiple taxations. Okay? Let me have our attention. So when a client buys a property, by law, he's going to pay tax. Yes or no? But you will see that when we issue receipt to your client, we don't say he has paid 30 million. We now put 7.5% again after that 30 million. Do you find that? No. Again, somebody has to take care of that. When we charge taxes on payments that are coming in, you as a business owner, if money paid to you is now 2 million per month, let's say at the end of the year you have a total of 30 million that entered your account. By law, you are also supposed to do your own accounts, remove all your expenses, your office space, your transport, your logistics, your phone call, your dinner that are associated with the business. After you have done that, it is possible that you can now say my profit after all my expenses is 9 million. It is that 9 million that is now subjected to tax. And that tax is about 40%. Abi 30 something percent. Ajayi? 32%. Are you with me now? So those ones that we deduct for you are not even your taxes. So if you do 32, so hello, that's one thing she has said here now is, I think for the next training we'll be doing, we'll really talk about your taxes. Because if you get this right, in future, it will help your business grow. Because if you cannot refer to your tax of 5 years ago, you can't really use that account for anything. So if they now charge you 32.5% of 9 million, that means you'll be paying government 3 point something million. So that is a lot of money. And this is where you need somebody that will help you prepare your accounts very well, so that you capture some costs. Are we together? If you watch some YouTube videos, they will tell you that that's why people that own businesses pay less tax than individuals. Because when you have a business that you are using to collect your tax, your commissions, it is easy to factor in a lot of costs into it. You come for a meeting with a client, you can remove your money for lunch from it, is allowed. Are you following me? Anything you do in line, even your lunch in the afternoon, you can remove it from your, but if it is in your individual name that you've been collecting your commission, you don't have a business, the day they knock on your door, you will cough the money. Do you get what I'm saying now? It will not now be on your profit after removing, it will be on the total 30 million. Another thing they do is, now, if you now even reduce that you did not make so much profit, they will charge you 0.05% of your turnover. So the worst, there's no way you want to dodge tax that you not pay 0.05% of your total revenue. So if you do 0.05 of 30 million, how much is that? That is a provision you should always have at the back of your mind. Even if you say you are not making anything, that's almost 1.5 million that we pay as taxes. 30 million, so people are nodding their head. And I know that they are having plenty money, more than 30 million. Yes, so it depends also on your business category. So if your revenue is not more than, is it 50 million? 0 to 25 million, 25 million to 100 million or thereabout. So you still have some leeways. Some of them you can enjoy some waivers, but it's good you prepare the tax. Enjoy the waiver. It is good you have it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our second question, please, the second and final question. Oh, he has answered it already. Oh, same question. Okay. Thank you very much then. Multimedia, are you ready for me now? Multimedia, are you ready? So we're moving swiftly over into the panel session. And we would like to have the chairs for the panel session on the stage, please. For our ushers, please, can you help us with the chairs for the panel session on the stage so that we can do that immediately? We need 8 chairs. 8 chairs. Multimedia, please. All right, so this is the panel session segment where we're going to have our distinguished panelists come discuss some very salient and important issues as regards real estate in Nigeria in 2024. Multimedia, are you ready or I just move on? No, I'm talking about the confession. All right, so that we do not waste any more time, but we'll just move swiftly over to the panel session today. And as I said, ladies and gentlemen, that when I bring up these people, I would want you to welcome them with a resounding round of applause for two reasons. Number one, because they are excellent people and they deserve to be celebrated. And number two, because you know for a fact that you too will be celebrated. Because what you celebrate, you attract. So please, you join me with a loud cheer and a round of applause to welcome my panelists as I invite them on stage. All right. Just before they come up, thankfully we have this now. I have had the opportunity to host 10 state conferences, and I have made it a pact to always do this at every real estate conference I have the opportunity to host. This is a confession I wrote myself about 3 years ago, and every conference where I allow them say these confessions, I've gotten feedback and testimonies months after that the participants, they were able to experience everything in this confession. And your confession is your possession. So we're going to say this together loud and clear. I will say the lines and you repeat after me. So are we together, everybody? I want you to say this with every confidence and every assuredness that you can have, because this will be your reality. Today, I affirm that I'm a powerful realtor. I focus my energy on what I am good at. I breathe in confidence and breathe out doubt. There are no wrong decisions. I attract people who help me meet my goals. My business is constantly growing. I am a natural leader. All challenges lead to growth. I make a lot of money and help a lot of people. I attract money through love and joy. I enjoy multiple streams of income. Every money I spend, I'll get back multiplied. My business is thriving in every way. I can turn my expertise into income. I am grateful for the wealth I create. My business is overflowing with opportunities. I release my doubts and insecurities. Every day I am building a successful company. I am driven by passion and purpose. I sell hundreds of properties. I close all pending deals. I invest in myself and my business every day. I know how to delegate responsibilities for the best efficiency. My work makes me feel happier and stronger each day. I'm capable of running my business. I am the CEO of the best enterprise in the world. I am great at finding solutions. I close deals back to back to back. I love this line a lot. I say it again. I close deals back to back to back. I am awarded the best-selling realtor. This is my reality, and I walk in it. And I pray that this will be your reality. Amen. Thank you very much. So we're moving over to the panel session for today, and as I said earlier, please join me to welcome with a warm round of applause our distinguished and indefatigable panelists. Please join me to welcome an award-winning realtor and the president of Team Focus Realtors Group and the MD of Goodly Heritage Properties, Mrs. Bukola Fatova. A round of applause for her. Please keep clapping till she gets here. Celebrate excellence. Thank you very much. You're welcome, ma'am. Let's not waste any time. Please also join me to welcome an award-winning realtor and the MD of Jalas Homes Limited, Madam Joke Kilanko. A round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, in the same vein, join me to welcome an award-winning realtor and the MD of Twinet Global, Mr. Peter Twinet. It gives me great delight, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome an award-winning realtor and the president of ABN Realtors Group, MD of Landview Estates Limited, Dr. Emmanuel Achinihu. A round of applause. It also gives me great delight, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome up on stage an award-winning realtor and the MD of Niger 247 Realty, Madam Goodness Usman. A round of applause for her. It also gives me great delight to welcome up on stage an award-winning realtor, my own mama, the president of Real Estate Millionaires, MD of Brilliance Concept Limited, and MFK School of Mentorship, Dr. Ambassador Funke Kende, whose birthday was 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Narazma, we love you. Please also join me to welcome. We need one more chair though. One more chair is very important, please. Can we have one more chair, please? Ushers? Protocol? So we're gonna have one more person. I'm just waiting for the chair to arrive, so our panelist doesn't just come up stage and is waiting for us. So as the panel session is ongoing, because we have a limited time, or you can write your questions down and we'll take your questions as the panel session is ongoing. You can pen them down. Any questions, whatever it is my panelists will talk about, please write your questions down as we move on. Please, can we make it snappy with the chairs, please? Let's just have one chair here, and then when they bring the chair, we will continue. We can't waste any time anymore. And our final panelist, but definitely not the least this afternoon, please join me to welcome an award-winning realtor and the president of Ultimate Vibrant Realtors Group and the MD of First Dominion Properties, Mr. Oseni Bolao. A round of applause for him too. Let's celebrate the green horn of Efficacy. UVRG, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Please have your seats. And moderating this panel session, ladies and gentlemen, is an award-winning event host, an international events compere, a diction coach, and a communication specialist. Please make some noise for Gloria Olufeko. Yes, that's me, that's me. It's okay. No, we have to do this. Celebrate me too. Yes, thank you. All right, let's just move over to, because I do not have a chair, I'll just stand while we have questions. So we have just 5 questions here so that we can allow people ask more questions. We don't want to do too much asking. Can I have an extra mic, please, multimedia? An extra mic, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sound. So I'd like to start with the president, of course, of the ABN. I'd like to start with you, sir. Let's talk about the best approach to handle a situation. Let me explain the situation. There's a client whose expectations on delivery is delayed. Probably they promised 2023, and here is 2024 and delivery hasn't been made. Considering the present economic situation of Nigeria, everyone knows what's going on. What is the best way to explain to that client? I have seen real estate companies put up memos on their Instagram pages explaining that they cannot meet up with a delivery. Is that the best channel to do it? What is the way to do it to explain to clients that you cannot meet up with delivery?
Okay, good morning, good afternoon once again. This question is somehow dicey, but straight to the point. Just like as we all are here seated, we are all realtors. We did not anticipate that we will wake up in these months without making sales. And if I want to be blunt to realtors and also developers, this is not the best time to be a developer, especially when you are building houses, because a lot of them have seen properties sold for say 30 million. For you to deliver that property, you are spending over 55 million. And you now see the situation that maybe the realtors that make that sales happen are no longer pushing for the company. And this company needed more funds for that property to be delivered. And some companies are taking upon themselves to either go back to the client to ask for more money or just striving on an isolation of let's get it done, is our promise, our word is our bond, and this keep lingering. The best approach sometimes, yes, mail is one, but if it gets more than necessary, I think since the clients, they are not all in the country, you cannot invite them for a town hall meeting, but you can also have your own town hall meeting in Zoom, where all these clients can actually ask questions, feel your own impulse of what is actually happening. But keeping more like, okay, there's nothing they can do, that is where the problem comes in. Like sometimes you see a client that have maybe 1 year payment plan, and the record says you have your house after 6 months after completion of your payment, and within that your payment, the property price has tripled because of the inflation of the dollar. In fact, I explained to some people, even now, the natural one we have here is nowhere to be found. That is ordinary sand. Sand initially used to be 65,000, but we're almost hitting it at 140, 150,000, depending on your location. So the delayed and so many things is there for us. So the company need to devise every means of communication, especially to the subscribers of that particular estate. You can organize your Zoom meeting online. You can also send mail to them. Your call center can also call them individually, either by call, WhatsApp, and everything. Reach out to the client so that he doesn't feel neglected. Once he feels neglected, the outburst may not be favorable to the company. So I think that is it. So many ways.
Thank you very much. I would also like Mrs. Bukola to touch on that. Yes, please. On that. He has mentioned mail, a town hall meeting.
All right. Good afternoon once again. I quite agree with Mr. Emmanuel about what he just told us now. But for me, even before I communicate to the client, I think we should start selling value to them. When the property is not delivered as at when due, we should let them know that even at that, their money is growing along with it. that will give them some form of confidence. For instance, when my client subscribed for Big Bungalow Phase 3 with a Studio BQ, at least I remember that that estate was launched at 19 million to 20 million. And when it was paying for it, the price was at 26 million. And right now, that property is rated as about 45 million now. So we can use that to also motivate them, to tell them that even while they are waiting, the property is appreciating. And apart from that, I also talk about the delivery time, especially when you see a company that they are making efforts. It's not that the property is just abandoned, there's nothing happening there. You go there, you see they are making effort, but probably inflation or some other things have taken over. But when you sell value to the client, more importantly, they will wait. And if you cannot solve the problem, then you can now negotiate with them, call them at a round table meeting, let them talk about it, then you can resolve it amicably. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Funke, yes, please.
My colleagues here have done justice to the question. I just want to add one thing. If from the moment the client buys a property from you, if you as a realtor has been giving your client value, by giving value, I mean giving him good service. In this case, if from the day your client bought from you, if you make it a point of duty to go to that property at least once a month, at least once or twice a month, to give him updates all the time. Good afternoon, my dear clients. Last time I was here, we were at this level of work. The fence was at this level. I'll keep giving you updates. This is just to tell you that the company is a renowned company that has integrity, and they will keep working. You go back there in 2 weeks' time. Oh, I'm excited to be here again. And as you can see, we are finished the fence work now. Now we are starting the gatehouse. If you have been doing this frequently, and your client understands and sees that, oh, they are actually working, when there is a delay, they will not be so upset. Yes or yes? Because they see that from time, the company has not just relaxed, and you have been doing your job as a realtor and giving them updates. So if for any reason there has to be a delay, there will be a bit more understanding. Thank you.
Yes, please.
That is a very lovely contribution from everybody that has spoken. Good afternoon, everyone. Basically, if, for instance, there is a project delay, I think there was at a point I was with MD, then he said something, I think there was a delay in one of their efficacy projects, and it's like some other companies, normally they would ask client to pay more because they were not able to delay because of so many inflations and all. And he said, as a company, they can't do that. That there is better late than never. So the best thing to do is, in that situation, is call your client. It is very important for you to reach out to your client. Let your client know why there is a delay. Then, if possible, give your client, because it's not enough to tell your client why there is a delay, give your client possible outline of when it will be done, like project milestone, when this will be done. So let them know what's happening. Don't put them in the dark. That way you have this very good relationship with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Still with you, Ambassador Bolao. Let's talk about the role of a realtor in real estate transaction. Guide us from when a client wants to subscribe to a property, either land or a house. What is the role of the realtor from subscription to delivery? And even after delivery, does the realtor still have any role to play? Or once they've just handed over the keys to the person or giving them their contract or whatever it is, deed and all of that, the realtor can go?
Okay, thank you so much, Gloria. That's a very powerful question, and a lot of us will learn a lot here. From the point of talking to the client, probably after filling the form, the first thing is make sure you process the transaction properly. Many realtors, the mistake they made is, you are not sending, probably how the company is handling the transaction, you send via mail. A lot of us will send to one WhatsApp chat, and there will not be proof, there will not be receipt of payment after some time. You'll be complaining there's no, receipt of payment, there's no commission payment. Meanwhile, you have not processed the transaction properly. So after that, after your client, maybe after they process all the necessary documents, ensure to like tell your clients when the document is done. Please check your mail, Mr. So and so. The document is sent. Please check through. If there's any question, I'm available to attend to your questions. Then after that, follow up to your client their allocation. Follow up on another mistake many realtors make is, most of the time is installments. After first deposit, you collect your commission, you run away. And there is power in follow-up. If you don't do proper follow-up, like MFK said, following up on your clients with going to site, sending them updates, they won't pay. I have a lot of clients that is until you send them updates that they will make next installment. They might even forget. So some clients, especially these cheap properties, they will do deposit and you not see them again. They will go because you are not doing your job well as a realtor. Now, after that delivery, your job is not done because there is power in follow-up even after sales. Render after sales service to your clients. With that, you get a lot of referrals from them, and you be like their number one realtor. Even though they want to buy any property that you don't sell, they will approach you to like advise them on that particular property. So that's very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I would like Mr. Twinet to touch on that. He was even raising his hand.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, before I say something about the question, I want to first of all thank Efficacy Construction Company. One of the reasons why I chose to sell or promote Efficacy products is because I saw sincerity in everything they do. I've promoted for some other companies, and so many of them will tell you, don't worry, building materials and every other things are expensive, but we keep building. But Efficacy doesn't do that. They tell you, building of houses at the moment will keep them aside. Let's focus on selling of land. So I saw sincerity in Efficacy Construction Company, and that is why I am pushing, and I will continue to push for Efficacy. Now, coming to the other question, I want to say a lot of realtors do what they call hit and run system. Now, this is how it works. Now, this is the process as a realtor from the beginning to the end. You met a client, you talk to a client showed interest in the product, you send a subscription form, you expect the client to make payment and send to you the payment slip. As soon as it's done, you forward the subscription form and the payment slip to Efficacy Construction Company via email. And though sometimes what I do is once I send through email, I will do a follow-up with Mr. Abiodo. All right, so you do that. Once you send that email and they confirm it, the next thing you see, they will send you an email of confirmation of your client's payment. And then within 24 hours, the payment is being processed, the receipts, the contract of sale and the orders are being sent to your client. And now one of the beautiful things about Efficacy is that they will also copy you as a realtor so that you can be able to do a follow-up. Now, once you receive that, that is not the end. The first thing I do is I will call my client or send him an email letting him know that the documents have been sent to his email if he has received his. So once he confirms he has received it, I know that that is done. Then I will now start chasing commission. All right? It doesn't stop at that. As soon as it's done, another thing again I do is that I have a book for every of my clients. I put down the list of every client. If you pay #1, I will write it down there. So as you are paying, you are making payment and putting down the information. Once it gets to the time that you've done your payment completed, I'll be the one to be informing you that it's time, almost time for your allocation. So I'll do follow up. Once it's time for allocation, Efficacy will send email to the client. I will also call the client or check on him to find out if he has gotten information about the allocation. Then the next question I want to ask is, are you coming for the allocation, or you have a family member who can represent you? Because my job has not ended. I will also want to represent you. So sometimes some clients will say, okay, please go ahead, just do a live video with me on the site. Then I represent the client. It has not ended there. After that, I will tell the client, okay, you have secured this property right in an estate. It's verified, it's secured. Yes. Why can't you do your fencing on your land? Sometimes some clients will say, go ahead. Can you get someone who can help me do fencing on the land? It has not ended. It will continue until when the client is ready to build in the house. I will also help him get someone who can build. All right, if that is done too, and you want to do things like furnishing of the house, like one of our presenters mentioned, your job does not end as a realtor. You can also do other things, interior decoration. Even if you don't know much about it, you can get people who will do this as a contractor while you get the money. Do you understand? So these are the job processes of a realtor. So it doesn't stop at you getting commission and you disappear. No. A lot of realtors have had a lot of issues with clients in that respect. Once they get their commission, they disappear. You won't see them again. Continue your process. At the end, if the client sees that, okay, this person has done a good job for me, he will give you referrals. And that is where the main money is. Do you understand? So that is exactly the process of realtors in the transaction business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, please help me hand over the mic to Mrs. Goodness. Thank you very much. Yes. Now, let's talk about how to handle clients as a realtor. Some clients that react negatively to developers, probably as a result of poor information, misinformation. Probably developer said something and it didn't get clear to the realtor. Realtor told client something else, and now client is angry and is attacking the developer. Where does the realtor stand in the middle? How does it try to pacify the client and also the developer? I don't know if you got my question. Okay.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and my fellow panelists. All right, so this is very, very sensitive, and if we're not careful, if it's not properly handled, it can damage a lot of things, both on the part, for all stakeholders, basically, because, I mean, as a realtor, you're a stakeholder. So first of all, I want to say to every realtor here that you should see yourself as a stakeholder. The moment you start seeing yourself not just as a salesperson but as a stakeholder, you have better and clearer understanding as to why you conduct yourself and your business. Because if you have that in mind, you will first of all pay attention to all the details that needs to be communicated. I mean, I've seen cases where you go to, I've had a lot of conversation with MD, Efficacy, and he'll tell you, oh, this realtor said this. I mean, a realtor is marketing, for instance, a prototype unit of a 3-bedroom bungalow in peak 3 or peak 2. And then that realtor is telling the prospect that you will, if you pay now, you will get your money, you will get the house now. Meanwhile, that's a wrong information. I mean, that person will not even get the house, even if the person pay instantly. The house will not be ready in 6 months. Now, because the realtor is not considering him or herself as a stakeholder, they're just looking at the money, and then the person just go ahead, close that deal. Now he brings the headache back to Efficacy. And Efficacy is saying, how? I don't even sell finished houses, so how do you expect me to give the bungalow to the person instantly? And then the investor is coming to say, give me my house. I'm giving this example so that they can understand what the question is. Now, if that has happened, and I believe it has happened some couple of numbers to MD, and this is what I would advise that happens. Of course, I've seen a situation where MD said it happened and they made a refund. Because at that point, there's no magic MD can perform to produce a 3-bedroom bungalow instantly. In fact, maximum three months, they can't do a magic. Do you understand? So at that instance, what will happen is a refund or a clear apology on the part of the realtor, unfortunately, on the part of the company as well, because the company we all are representing Efficacy. And that's why I say we are a stakeholder. You need to see yourself as a stakeholder. So you must get information directly. I've seen a situation where realtors will tell you, oh, I get my group leader said, my president, my governor, Dan. Did you check? There's a reason why we have FAQ, right? Did you even read to understand? So let's say there's a clause there you don't understand. Did you call relationship managers? Did you call, even if this, the MD, please, oh, this part, I do not understand. Why? It's because you're being diligent at your job. So it is on us to be a diligent person. But in that situation, it's not. The way is, if the person does, because I mean, in some cases, I want to buy a house from you, and Mr. Balawan is giving me the house. I don't want my money, right? I love the house, I love the location, my heart is in there. So if there's a way to persevere, it will now be upon the company, alongside with this realtor, identifying that I made a mistake. I am so sorry. An apology letter, physical apology if the person is present, even if it's a Zoom meeting. After tendering the apology, they should not explain a proper communication of how it actually works with this client, and then say, if you're willing to wait, you will get it at XYZ time. So in between it all, whether to be proactive to avoid such situation happening,
or mitigating a situation that had already happened. It is a proper, adequate communication and empathy. Now, empathy I mean from the part of the developer, the efficacy to the client. Yes, there might not be empathy to the realtor anyway, but then there must be empathy towards these clients because the client is innocent in this regard. So that's my own.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Chaka, I want you to talk on this one too after it's done.
Okay, and this is not just only on misinformation alone. Let's also talk about the part of discounts from the realtors' parts. Yes, discounts. You see sometimes, let me use Peak Luxury when it was selling for 30 million. You see some realtors marketing it for 28 million. I don't know what I'm saying. You see some realtors marketing it for 28. You'll be wondering what is going on. And you have this beautiful client, you have done all the things necessary for you to actually close the sales. At the point of payment, they will start consulting everybody. Company A said this, Company B said this, Company C said this. And sometimes they try to drag developer into submission on that discount. So the misinformation at times, as your client you very well, and also we the realtors minimize on our discount to dish out to the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, okay, please touch on that quickly. Please, your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me add to the point you just said. Providing misguided information can lead to a lot of consequences, such as you spoil the reputation of your company. And this is where product knowledge comes in. You need to understand your product before even marketing to your clients. You need to know what it entails. It's going to take 12 months or 18 months to deliver. Let your clients know. Be transparent from the onset. Oh, this is an off-plan project. It's going to take so time. You understand what I mean? So you have to be transparent. Let them know the timeline for delivery. That way, your clients will trust you and they can refer other customers to you.
Thank you very much. All right, yes, please. I wanted to come to you, Dr. Funke.
I just want to quickly add this. It's something I do, and I would like to share it here. The problem in that causes this kind of conflicts is usually miscommunication. Now, one of the things I do to avoid ambiguity and I follow up with an email from info@Brilliant Concept Realtors saying it's like a thank you email, but it's loaded with the information of Peak Luxury Courts. And according to the form you filled, you are on a 12-month payment plan. And once you finish, the form you filled, you are on the 12-month payment plan, which means that in 12 to 18 months, depending on what the MD tells you, a detailed email that you send from your email to the client's email. That is before he even gets the receipts from. So that way, your payment plan is on, he knows when he's getting his house. So that way.
So we're going to take questions now because I would want to not ask all the questions. I know that our realtors here, you have so many, okay, their hands to ask.
All right, thank you to all our panelists. You want to snap? Don't let my tummy show. Thank you to all our panelists. So I wanted to say something in regards to their last contribution. So imagine a realtor, no, we are not fighting to the clients. When we had challenges in phase 3 and we looked at moving people to phase 2, we approached a particular client because we're looking at the due date. And we knew that by this date we'll be able to go and visit the property. She never went there. Instead, she was just like, I am fighting for my client. So I said, okay. Until the client, but why didn't you assert? By that time, the relationship. So for that realtor already, she's going to lose the client's confidence. Another one happened. The client's meeting was ongoing. The realtor had issues with one of our staff. Took it personal to the extent of blackmailing the company before the client. And then the client started becoming agitated. She lied that she went to site to inspect the building. The building was not ready. The client also sent a mail because of what she said and because of the anger inside of her. When we responded with the stage of the building, we now told the client, we are no longer selling to you. Because already, based on the response of the client, you know, when we take those steps, it is to buy our peace of mind. Because when you have a client that is agitated in a transaction because of the attitude of the realtor, when the client moves in, the problem will be more. I hope you know that. Every mosquito that flies around, there will be meaning to it. They will tag a meaning to everything, and you will not enjoy that client. So when that happens, now exonerating and saying, I didn't send the realtor this message, and the realtor did not represent me. In fact, the client went as far as saying that I met this realtor through you, and we had no relationship before that. If we continue with realtors, are we clear? Let's understand that. And the last one I will share again was, a client does not have capacity to buy 5 plots. And when we now revoke the client, the realtor is angry. Are you following me now? And at that time already, we were using. So please, we are not in competition with you. We should complement each other. And I like the lines that all of them have said. We are stakeholders. If one is missing, the transaction is not complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You'd like to say?
Okay, so I just want to quickly add something to flesh it out for us as Realtors. Like I said, this is a partner, something wrong. Be cautious of how you behave yourself. A lot of Realtors are seen on the delay in commission, for instance. And then I wonder when I read it, I'm like, are you truly a Realtor? Because if you're splitting this out to your partner, are you saying you will not get that commission and make more next sale and get more commission? My client is also a stakeholder in this. We are a circle. It's like a marriage without divorce, except if you already go into the partnership with a divorce in mind. But if you go into each transaction and treating it as a marriage and saying, this marriage, there is no divorce, it means that at everything, there's nothing we can do in this our volatile, peculiar real estate sector. You cannot compare our real estate industry in Nigeria with anywhere in the world. When my clients in US treat our matter as per the way it is the line, grace. Me, I was just shouting, hey, goodness, if it's you, Otilo, your money has gone. But even at his level, do you know how many transactions he has done? And that still happened. So let's say he has started building that property, and down the line is where he knows. What happens to us as Realtors? What happens to our clients? Are you going to come as well and say, is Efficacy not supposed to do due diligence? That's the way a lot of us will sound now. That's the way we will sound. Quickly, we want to remove ourselves from the matter and say, Efficacy, I'm with my client. No. I'm sorry, we have that slogan of, I'm with my client, yes. But you are also with the company. Because the truth is, you see those clients, they are not dumb. They are watching you. So the next time you fight with them, with Efficacy, after that fight, trust me, you want to take them somewhere else, they will not go. No, they won't. Because whether you like it or not, they will say it's the same thing. That in fact, they will assume that you don't do your work well. That's why you partner with the wrong person. That's what they will just assume. So when there is an issue, first of all, be having that solution in mind. Say, this is an issue, and there's no issue that does not have solution. So it's a case of MD, sir, Madam ED, please. Barrister Glory, how do we resolve this? Sir, my client, chill. I'm with you. Nothing is happening. We will get to the bottom of this. The example he made now, you didn't even go to site. I see so many people making a lot of assumptions, and this assumption and mistakes is due to the fact that you don't know the product. You have not been to the estate. Somebody told me, a realtor told me recently, that what's happening? They abandoned peak luxury. And in my mind, I'm just like, sorry, because it's just literally the answer. It means that that person, probably after the day of the first launching, that fellow has never been to the estate. Whoa, I was there 2 days ago. The gatehouse is looking more beautiful than before. Sure, you guys know.
So you now tell me now that that kind of realtor, when the client asks the update, you're like, they abandoned it, oh. They're not doing anything. I don't know what's wrong with them. They are focusing on Peak Royal. Are you joking? So please, it all boils down to, first of all, project knowledge, and then how you see yourself. You're running a business. Nigeria, they will always be basketball in real estate. So build your turnarounds and be ready to not exactly stay with your partners, but stick with your clients as well.
Mr. Emmanuel has something to say. Thank you so much.
So, some realtors sometimes compare two companies, maybe because company A is painting their wall and company B is facing their back to they secure the land. You will now look at it, there's sometimes we call it rub and shine, than somebody that is doing the real work at the back. Comparison with setting. Or sometimes you see, okay, I sold 50 million, company A give, company B give me a chicken. Because of that, you want to castigate the company B. Anywhere they mention it, no, don't mind them, you are the first to. See, you are just killing your business slowly. The person that asks you about a particular company already have an interest. I wanted to confirm, you, my realtor, can I carry along in this transaction? And watch out, all the clients you have discouraged in one particular company, incentive or whatsoever, in the next 3 years or whatever, keep watch, they will tell you the value of that land in that particular estate you discourage them. So the more you discourage clients because of an interest or incentive or because of a lower commission or whatsoever, remember that those clients, they are all on internet, watching, looking at you, looking at the company. Sometimes they go as far as doing more diligent than you, the realtor marketing it. So just have it in mind that no two companies are the same. Different vision, different property, different location. They may be marketing the same price, but there's something from one to. So please take note that that company, don't castigate, or today you said, okay, because Efficacy did not give you what you expected in 2023. This year, I will never bring all my clients to Efficacy. And your clients are already in Efficacy since 2 years ago. You tend to push them to the new company because you want to push or get more incentive this year. The more you preach them against the company, the more you lose those clients. Take notes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have this question for Mrs. Bukola Fatova, please. Can we help her? It says, how do you keep good relationship with your clients when he has paid for land and document for 3 good years and he has not been allocated?
Wow.
So quickly touch on it in a minute.
Okay, that's a very difficult one. Well, for me, like, if you have a good relationship with your client from day one, you'll be able to manage them very well. But for me, what I do, I will keep sending them, real estate investment opportunities. I will keep talking to them about how they can invest in another place. Because I will tell them the truth from day one. For instance, we have clients that bought properties that has acquisition in process for the past 5 years, and they've not gotten allocation till today. But like we have said earlier, your relationship with them will go a long way. You have to keep talking to them. You keep showing up. Anytime they have questions, you should be there for them. That is the only way you can keep them up. Because if you ignore them, it will turn to another thing. So that your relationship with them has to keep going until the allocation is done. Until they get that property, you won't stop at it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Emmanuel has something to say.
I think at this point, there's nothing like good relationship here. Because 3 years is not 3 days. First, you as a realtor should before even you get to that 3 years, you'll be able to meet the company, what has happened. Are you getting me? And not just keeping notes and saying, okay, the land is there. Have you on your own visited the land to know whether actually the land is there? There's some company these days that sold as of 2014, 2015. When you get there, there's another signboard entirely. How can you keep clients to be waiting? That is not possible. So for me, the relationship should be the part of, if my clients cannot get in these estates, what other your estate can my client be allocated? That should be the part your relationship will work well. When you are presenting alternative for the client money that did investment 3 years ago, let's say it's in Shogotedo, 3 years ago you will have gotten it for 15 million. Now 2024, you cannot get it for 40, 45 million. Now, that client, maybe the company has lost the land because, see, real estate, a lot of shit happened here. That's the truth. Developers are seeing hell. Sometimes they buy a property twice just to maintain the company reputation. So when such happens, it's for you to actually meet the developer. You can come in form of, I remember when we did it in one of our partners' estate 2017. Some of them have 600 square meter, was reduced to 450, just for the client to have their land, instead of them losing out in totally. Parafuka, you remember that experience? So what am I saying is, that relationship you are trying to build will come in this form. But you keeping quiet, you only talk when the client call you, and you present that, I don't mind them, they are stupid companies. That is not the solution. The solution is for you to work the modality between you and the developer. And then you present a very suitable decision or solution to your client. Remember, if they call for refund, there is a clause of either 30 or 40%. And if the developer is no longer that bogus to do that, you, the realtor, will be called upon to refund your own parts. Because you're a stakeholder.
3 years later.
Hello? It doesn't matter. See, excuse me. See, this is where we are partners in this business. A and B are growing together. When A goes down, B is also seeking. Remember. So why am I saying this? If you have a client or a client that have property for 3 years, nothing is happening. I tell you, if you like, leave it for 10 years, nothing will happen as long as it's land. So the best is for you to move for a possible relocation of your client to where something, they can grab something. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sorry,
okay, quickly.
It's very sensitive. So I'm just going to say this conversation, if you are sitting in this room and you have not experienced this, oh, Tibere. Get ready to see. When I say our market is a peculiar market, trust me, these things happen. So 2 things I want to say. To be honest, me, I will just say, look out to God. Because sometimes there's nothing you can do. Is it the company that you cannot even find anymore? See, look here. Some of these companies, you can't even find them anymore. They don't come to their offices. So at that point, you have even arrested some of the MDs. Let's just pray it doesn't happen to the best of us. That's what I say. And let's pray. That's why also, that is why it is important to partner with companies like Efficacy Construction. Stop jumping around.
Thank you very much. Thank you. MFK. Doctor, you have something to say too.
Hey, I just want to say, whatever is happening, one house, please.
Please, can we be together, everybody? Please, let's have one house. Thank you.
When things go south in a transaction, either it is the developer's fault or what do you call that thing? Act of God. whatever happens, there's one thing I still believe in, which is documentation and black and white. As you are sending an email to the company saying, so company, my client has not been allocated, copy your clients in every email. So that way he knows that yes, she's trying her part and she's making effort and she actually has my part. That way, you'll be saving yourself in case it turns a legal matter. That's what I have to say.
Okay, doctor, 1 minute, sir.
1 minute so that we can go. Okay, so this one, I wanted to drop that. There are circumstances that there are delays. Please don't shield your client from the company. Meaning, bring the client and the company to the table. I have seen from experience that when the realtor gives us the permission to reach out to the client and we have a discussion, the issue is usually not even a big deal. So if you shield the client, there was a client that was not happy, but I asked the realtor, let's have a Zoom meeting, and I explained everything to the client, and now the client is calm. This morning I met a client here. He came for this conference because he said we are coming here, and he's saying he has not gotten allocation. And when I asked, his allocation letter has been sitting in the office for a month, but the realtor did not show up. So he's getting it tomorrow, straight away, once you get to the office. All his documents. So as much as possible, we are not here to steal your clients, because that's the fear a lot of people have. That when I bring my client to the table, they'll become the friend of the relationship officer or the MD, and we don't do such. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. This question is for Dr. Funke. He said, I have an issue. Okay, this is not it. How do we manage misinformation from developers that say that they will do helipad, basketball courts, bank, school, hospital, village, airport, inside one estate, to just sell? Now I have sold to my clients. No airport, no hospital, no helipad. Who is to take the blame? Developer or realtor? MFK airports.
Excuse me. MFK is a realtor too. This question is for developer. Okay. 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 First and foremost, one house, please. First and foremost, it still comes back and boils down to selling for only a reputable brand. Pull your ear well and hear me. It still comes down to a company that has reputation, has integrity, and has a track record of delivery. Are we together? Are we together? That's number one. Secondly, read your FAQ, like business said. Every reputable company writes down things that they will provide in their FAQ. Then thirdly, this one is my own personal secret I want to tell you now. Are you listening? Are you listening? If you know me well, there is one thing I do on every product launch. Who knows that thing? I will hold the MD. Come and do interview. Use your mouth to do RSA. Use your mouth to commit to what you want to do here. So that peradventure you default, that video is there on Instagram. Do you understand? But most importantly, market for the person who that this man in his first project said he will do this, do this, do this. 7 projects will be delivered. Don't go and start marketing for people that you are not very sure of. That's the only solution.
Thank you very much.
So in addition,
yes, Madam Jika,
because it's not everyone that probably will get the MD on launching day to do that. Now, while I do that as well, because the major reason I do that as well is because I don't want to miscommunicate what I don't know. Don't come and then he's a very knowledgeable man, and he's more technical than me. He will say those mobo jumbo, me I will go and say it anyhow. So that, but this is what I also do personally. You see, when you come on your launching day and you say, that does not happen in Efficacy. Let's first of all clear that. But just to help you, for you X-Well, if you hear helipad, you are going to sit down and think about it. Helipad Ibawo, airport, how now? Is it achievable? When you say no, you too stop saying it. Don't promise. What is there? What is inside the FAQ, sir? Man, stick to it. Other people said, I am not other people. This is what I know, and this is what is going to be written in the contract of sale.
Thank you.
These things are just marketing, please.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Madam Joke, please.
Okay, so let me add to their point. Before you sell for any company, ensure you do your due diligence. Check their track records. For example, Efficacy, they don't give me a deco. They have successfully delivered phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Peak results. Check their good track records. That way you'll be able to know if they will deliver on the project or not.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, the MD, we have a question for you. How do realtors here, because I know we are aware that the Lagos State NI just increased survey fee. So how do they communicate with their clients the new price for the survey? Knowing fully well that the clients have started paying for the property and has even started paying for statutory fees.
Okay, well, before I answer that question, I'll just quickly add a voice to the contribution. So at Efficacy, when we promise infrastructures, there are some of those infrastructures that you cannot do now. Are you following me? For instance, I will use Peak Resort for example. Peak Resort is the only estate that we put a lot of luxury there. And to show our commitment, we've done the first golf course. For those of you that need to visit the place. We also got a permit from NIWA to do a jetty there. We have paid for the jetty, we have dressed the channel. When we said there will be a boat club there, we have done that also. However, if I build a jetty there now, who will use it? But I have the approval. When we also talked about artificial lake, we already have artificial lakes there. We bought the land with the lake. So as much as possible, the things that we said we would do there, we would do it. But you know, as development go on, if you do some things now, it will of course cannot look old. And I also remember at our gatehouse, the gatehouse we have there presently, I've said we are demolishing it. We've acquired more land towards the entrance. So our entrance is now almost 1 kilometer from where you know it to be. You will start seeing construction. That means also that the estate is now much more closer to the road. In fact, we are now sharing fence directly with DPK right there. So, well, as much as possible, we are not promising you airport or stadium or helipad, but whatever we say we will do, be rest assured we will do it. Now, thank you. Based on the survey fees, you would also know that last year we started, in fact, I had first information from the top that they were going to review it. We sent the notices out on our WhatsApp group, but I also had realtors saying that we want to use it to collect money. Yes, we also had realtors saying that no, it's not possible. I am happy that everybody now knows that as of January 2nd, they have increased the fees. So one of the responsibilities of the realtors is to also trust us, the developer. There are information that we'll have that you may not have privilege to. But when we tell you that this thing is likely going to come up, let's run with it. If they did not increase it, your client has eventually paid for survey, yes or no? Here we're having people battling for, they prefer the clients pay the monthly installment than the survey because of the commission they will get. Unlike saving the client's money to pay for the survey and they get their own commission in future. So that is that about that. As it is now, there's nothing we can actually do about it. It is standard. Everybody has to pay the new fees. Mind you, they did not give notice. There was no official notice. So your clients cannot hold you by the neck that you did not notify them because there was no notice. They just brought it out. The same thing with building approval. I think rate per square meter used to be maybe 100 or 200. It just went up to 380 per square meter. There was no notice, meaning that some buildings that would have gotten approval with maybe 1 million naira, you'll be spending like 3 million naira now, even just for a bungalow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our final question. Okay, all right, Mr. Emmanuel. And then our final question will be for Mr. Peter.
Okay, like MD said now, you may be having your land located in Shongotedo or your land in Ekbe. You are paying price of survey of land in Lekki Phase 1. Just take notes. Before you go and tell your clients your land is in Ibejuleki, is in Ekbe, reach out to the company. Some provision that they gave in this new survey list is any company have to go and take the surveyors to their lands to actually ascertain where their land falls. It's no longer before they say where is this, Ibejuleki is this, Ikrodi is this. No. Now there's a new rule. Any land that is 200 meters to the road is considered as strong in Section B. And Section B price is price of Shongotedo. So your land may be in where you are paying 1.750. And if your land is facing lagoon, you have a special price. If it's facing ocean, it's a special price. I'm just telling you the new price. Now, initially this place here is in Orchard. Let's say their land is this area is 1.750. That is a new price here now. But if you watch Orchard is less than 200 meters to Express, it's going to be paying survey of 3.something million of Lekki Phase 1. So that is a new rate. So your land can be in Ekbe and you see company charging you survey of 1.750. Don't think this company is cheating you. That is a new rule of Lagos that take place in 2nd of this month. If you are opportune, I will want you to have the copy so that when companies are quoting, you also check it. And sometimes when they finish charging you for that rate, they will come out and call what they call assessment fee, which is not here. That assessment fee is what they will discuss with the developer that is building it. That one is not documented, but it's part of the fee that they will charge. Because right now, before you get number for your survey, that is one of the things that delay survey now. A registered surveyor and the team of surveyors from Alausa must visit your site first before your survey can be out. So I think they are trying to actually solve some little issue, because sometimes surveyors can pick a point here, a number for this location, go and do another one. So if they got number for your estate, even if you you are not ready to do it, that number is for that estate. It cannot be taken to any other location. So they are trying to cope so many things, but it's actually to our own somehow disadvantage, or I don't know how to put it, but that is a new rule now. So you have to be actually acquainted to these new facts before you sell. Thank God that MD will always push all those information to know where their estate falling. If it's close to the road, know that you are not paying anything lesser. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sorry guys, just to quickly add to what everyone has said. Be careful now. Don't go and send old form to your client, yo. Hello, don't go and send old form, because the forms now they sent out this, they're rolling out new subscription form. Don't, if they bring in peak luxury, it's back to the market. MD told us, don't go and take peak luxury form when the survey was 1.1 and go and send it to your client. You did not read it. The client now pays. It now becomes another basket. He signs. Please make sure that you go and delete all your old forms so that you avoid problem.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll find. Okay, please help me pass the mic to Ms. Badejo. She has something to say.
Yes. Sorry, I just want to share my personal experience. Like, I have a client who has bought property from me for the past 4 years that have not been allocated, and this same client have been able to sell 2 different properties to her. In fact, one of them is worth over 100 million, and she paid. What am I trying to say? Relationship that you build will go a very long way. So it's possible. Like, reach out to her during her birthday,
when the children is doing something, I reach out to her. I'm always watching her status, following her back to back. So the relationships are built over the years and really help. Once in a while, she will just ask, Tabuki, what about that one, that one? I'll just say that, don't worry, maybe things will happen later. But that relationship is very key with our clients. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the final question goes to Mr. Peter Twinet. Now, this realtor sold a property in Ibejuleki about 5 years ago, and the client only paid for the land, but didn't pay for development and other things like statutory fees. And they kept begging and said he wasn't ready, right? That was 5 years ago. Now he's ready to pay. Does he pay that price? How does he communicate that now it's a new price? And the extension.
Thank you so much. In fact, as a matter of fact, in my estate where I live, I have a client that bought a plot of land from me 3 years ago. It was same issue. He paid for survey and deed of assignment. He has not paid for development fee. I kept reminding him. He said, don't worry, when I want to build, I will pay development fee. Development fee went from 3 million naira to 4 million, from 4 million, now it's 12 million naira. The client came few weeks ago. He came to make fight. I told him, I said, Oga, the question the lawyer of the client asked the client, did you read the contract of sale? He said yes. Then in the contract of sale, it was mentioned that the prices of development fee, survey, and the rest of them will be changing as time goes on. So when you bought, it was at this rate. Now, at the moment, this is the rate. So what do you have to do? He got tired, he doesn't know what to do, but at the moment, he's the one begging the company now to accept maybe 50% or 70% of the money. So what I would advise is, talk to that client. If he refuses, keep on talking until he lists him. But definitely he's going to pay the new price. He's not going to pay old price. That is the simple solution.
Also, remember, when that development fee was fixed, block was at the rate of 120. Block is almost 600,000 now. Cement was at the rate of 17. It's almost 6,000. And so you are not expected to actually think about that old rate. I will advise you, anytime your client buy any land, try as much as possible, let all the payments be completed. But sometimes we want the client to key in another project without tidying up the old one. You see sometimes, some of us will have clients that have instrumental but almost 10 companies, but no one is complete. All of them will be on default at the same time, and at the same time you see that the client have nothing. So please always insist your client should do the right thing, complete a particular one before he jumps to the next one. Thank you.
Please, he has to touch on this.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is very important, and please, Realtors in the house, take this very seriously, because these are things that will cause issue for you, and that would even make you lose referral from these clients. Now, most of the time, there's no commission is not paid on statutory fees. So the energy at which we push our client to pay statutory fee is always low, because I'm not going to collect any commission from this. So you need to push it, because it's better for you to have 100 clients that are committed, that are loyal to you, that have 1,000 clients that you are not even done, everywhere is just scattered. So it is very important to, then you tell your clients, yesterday's price is not today's price. Regarding the price increment, development fee increment, yesterday's price is not today's price. Inflation rate is very crazy right now. So please do well to inform your clients of different statutory fee to be paid, development fee, survey, deed of assignment. Let them know. In fact, as a matter of fact, I have many realtors that they don't tell their client that they are other statutory fees. The client will just believe that it is all inclusive. Meanwhile, it's not. So at the end of the day, there will be issues, and then the client will be dragging the company, collecting refund and all. And you as a realtor, you spend your commission. And most of these clients, I have a particular case I'm sorting right now. The client is requesting 100% refund, and the realtor has been paid over 5 million naira for past, it's going to 2 years now. Then the realtor has to refund the commission, and the realtor is like, okay, I don't spend money, there's no money. And the client is dragging the company. So because of this situation now, the company is like, Mr. Golan, we have to pay your group commission. if this guy does not pay, we told your good commission. No. So other realtors are now suffering from one particular realtor's mistake. So please, it is very important to communicate well with your clients and let them know what and what is involved in the property they are about to buy. Thank you so much.
So, all in all, it still all boils down to product knowledge, adequate communication, please, and reduce desperation. I know that, trust me, I always want to be among the people MD will call and say, oh, this top realtor this, top realtor that. But the moment I stopped, when I entered into this business, I told myself, when it's time for me to actually work my way to that point where I become a top realtor back to back and there will not be any coming back, I will get there. Why? I will not be desperate enough that I will be miscommunicating information. Because what you're doing to yourself, when you are desperate, for like that example of closing 5 plots, pushing someone to buy 5 plots, that does not have the capacity to buy 5 plots. It was only because at that time is the number of plots or houses that you sell that they base the commission and the incentive on. It was pure desperation. You get it in, and there was a lot of trouble for the realtor itself and then the company. Now, we don't know, we don't usually focus on, is that you're already creating a problem for the future. So you collected a 5 million naira commission 2 years ago. How do you expect me to use today? Don't forget that your 5 million naira 2 years ago is way better than this 5 million naira. So now you're telling me to come and refund 5 million, 15 million equivalent. I mean, check it out. So can we stop being desperate? Let's identify our current level. Let me give you an example. MFK, you allow me. I have known this woman since I started real estate. And I always say it, that she has, I remember that first year I entered real estate, and that was the first thing I noticed about her. Maybe she does not even remember, of course she will remember. She collected, was it 5 or 4 Camrys? And I sat down wait how easy is this thing? I don't even know how to say, but I told myself that, see, wait, you cannot even compare yourself to her. I don't know what her background is. My background is different. And she obviously has been in the real estate industry long before me. Now, does it happen that someone will also come into the real estate business in 3 months and then the person is balling? Of course, yes. But check that person out. There's no by mistake. If it's by mistake, that person will not repeat it. Hello? Yes or yes? I have seen realtors who come in, close deals, bam, 10 plot of luxury. Oh yeah, repeat it. Those are chances. That's what happened to people who win lottery. But if you build yourself and build your way up gradually with work, with hard work, showing up every day, being consistent, trust me, you will be tired of even having cars in your garage, please.
Amen. Thank you.
Can we stop the desperation?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Please, final words from our speakers. Final words. I want everybody to say something. Thank you.
Okay. I want to say something, and what I want to say now is let's see ourselves as professionals. Let's see this business as a long-term business. Let's not see it as a short-term business, because so many people, or realtors, like I always say, they want to do hit and run. They make money, they disappear. They don't want to come back again. Please, it's a business that will stay as long as possible. Like I always say as well, any little mistake you make now can cause you a lot of trouble in the future. Like I was discussing with some realtors a few days ago, the way the real estate business is coming up. If you don't trust the company, you want to save money, to make gently and be sincere.
Okay, so take care of the fair. Yes, even if I'm receiving your commission, follow even to its power generation, follow up with your customers. From time to time, you
should try to release a website. And they go, when is your rent pack out? It help us.
And if you give a full time
in the first month of what you want to
thank you very
much. Every question on the nail. All the real estate. Also want to thank my accountant for making the money available for us to have this time. And then for everyone that is here, you're all welcome. God bless you. Hope to see you very soon. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Oh, catch you together for Anita.